Meat and Livestock Australia is a service provider for the red meat industry, providing research and marketing for grass-fed cattle producers, lot feeders, lamb, mutton and goat producers. The government extracts a statutory levy of $5 per head on all cattle sales, with sheep and goat producers paying less under a different criterion. MLA do not record producers who pay a levy. This means that MLA has only 49,500 members. We are told that MLA's LPA database contains 120,000 producers' email addresses. One could argue that MLA needs to be more open and transparent with members, as they are all paying a statutory levy. This pie chart clearly shows the MLA collecting $101 million in producer levies, and the grass-fed cattle producers paying over 50% of all levies collected. Sheep producers pay $35.8 million, $10.9 million from the feedlot, and $0.7 million from the goat producers. MLA has an income of $200 million, consisting of $101 million in grower levies and $47.2 million in other sources, and government matching contribution of $52.1 million. Other sources include funding through research and development, as MLA collects a percentage of all R&D. MLA managed to spend $198 million last year, $104.2 million spent on research and development, and nearly $90 million on marketing, both domestic and overseas. Who benefits the most? The supermarkets, the processors, or the ever-battling producers? How effective has MLA marketing been? In 1998, we consumed approximately 40 kilograms of beef per person, and now we are looking at less than 25 kilograms. Chicken and pork has overtaken beef as preferred meat. When we look at pork and chicken in their marketing budget, one must really question whether in fact beef marketing is effective. On the graph, you can see the price of retail beef consistently going up. Cattle prices over the last 20 years have been very volatile, up and down, but mostly down, but not following the price fluctuations of cattle. In 1999, producers were getting $2.27 per kilogram in dress weight, and by 2017 they were getting a record $6.40. In 2013-14, cattle prices slipped to $2.90 a kilo, well below the cost of production. In 2007, Minister McGorran was so concerned that the price of cattle was at record lows whilst retail levels were at record highs. He sent a request to the ACCC to find an answer. The report was nothing short of a disgrace, and Coles came back and said producers got 54% of the retail price, processors 13%, and costs absorbed 30%, leaving a 3% margin. Questions had to be asked after these findings. Some years later, ABA, Australian Beef Association, arranged a cut-up of carcass beef to find out what was the percentage of each cut and the overall margins. From this, a workable spreadsheet calculator was developed. Prices were taken from retail or major supermarkets, and the first spreadsheet shows the purchase price at $2.90. This was in 2013, when prices dropped due to drought. The producer's share goes on to calculate at approximately 26%. At today's price of $6.40 carcass weight, the percentage calculated out at 48%. Since this high of $6.40, there has been a sharp correction in cattle prices. However, retail prices remain at the same level. Australian beef producers have 215,000 property identification codes registered, although a lot of producers may have multiple PICs. We are told that MLA has 120,000 email addresses on the LPA database, and another 40,000 postal addresses, MLAs say they have about 40,000 cattle producers as members. This means when a vote is taken, the bigger end of town have all the voting power. It was mentioned once that the top 200 levy payers can outvote everybody else. Could this be part of the reason why at a recent MLA AGM in Alice Springs, we saw that 2.9% of eligible MLA producers bothered to vote? Are they frustrated with the unfair, non-democratic voting system we presently have? Australian Wool Innovation, for example, have a much fairer system and manage to get, on average, 25% of their voters returning votes. AWI can identify all producers who pay a wool tax. Members vote on nominated board members, and AWI members are given a wool poll where they also vote on the amount of levy they wish to pay. This occurs every 3 years. So we see some noted problems. Levies are compulsory for producers and MLA has complete control. It is in this direct contrast, processors and other sections of the chain who control their own levies, supermarkets and retailers are not obliged to pay any levy. When unexpected events occur, it creates a drop in cattle prices. This can have a devastating effect on cattle producers, especially when Australia has such high cost production compared to South America. Cattle Council of Australia is a representative of grass-fed cattle producers and is compromised due to its alliance on MLA for funding. They are obliged to oversee investment projects, making sure they are designed to increase farm profitability and sustainability. Another is to assess performance and service delivered by MLA. We must have an immediate restructure of the democratic system that is answerable to all grass-fed levy payers. Suggested solutions so far have been to create an independent cattle corporation, elected by producers throughout Australia, with a representative voted on from every cattle region. This could be made up of producers, both large and small. Funding would come from several sources. However, it seems that the producer levy may be the obvious. The new body would have independence, the ability to scrutinise budgets and monitor performance of the MLA. They must have the muscle to deliver policies to MLA. We need a democratic voting system where every levy payer is given a vote on board members. Anybody paying a levy would be identified and given a voting slip, which they would be encouraged to return. Every 3 years, producers would be able to vote on the amount of levy they wish to pay. So come on, let's firstly hear from the producers Australia-wide and see what they want and need. This can be done through a referendum or plebiscite. We need your views on the current situations affecting you within your beef industry. This will be an opportunity for you to be heard.